Hey, welcome to our little sliver of the internet, folks. So glad you could visit us here on The Final Cut. Mark the Movie Man, and today we've got a familiar name here on The Final Cut who's got a new film coming out. The Devil's Left Hand is what it's called, and it's directed by Harley Wallen, who also gets in front of the camera with this story about a group of individuals who are friends. They decide to have a seance over at their buddy's house, Richie, and well, they're successful. They open up the gateway and start talking to some lost relatives, but they also open a gateway for a demonic force who comes through and latches onto Richie and decides to torment his friends as well. And we see how Richie has to deal with this new demonic force who is preying on the fact that he is still guilt from a childhood trauma that he suffered and the fact that he has a sick mother in the hospital due to the events that happened when he was a child. And we see how all of this comes to a very interesting conclusion with The Devil's Left Hand. Harley Wallen really gives an interesting story. I like how it comes out of the gate with the seance. We get right into it. They set up this world where mediums can talk to spirits fairly easily. And, spirits existed here. And yeah, I dug that quite a bit. And they give great special effects as well in here right away. You know what you're in for. You get the demonic voice going on. You get some glowing red eyes. They don't get too fancy with any of the special effects, which I appreciated. There are some interesting ghost dissolves that are done in here that really get the idea across, but they never go too far or too complex with any of the special effects. So the world building and special effects are really well done, especially that sound design. They use a lot of the sound design here and old school techniques to bring the scares, banging doors, stuff out of the corner of your eye, and especially a sound in particular that they use for when a demonic force or whatever, whenever it's about, is kind of hiding in the shadows. There's this really weird, unnerving noise that they come up with that I appreciated quite a bit. And it gives your skins a bit of the creepy crawls. Now, the cast that they have is really going all in. Richie Stan is played by Chris Riley. I loved the layers he brings to this character. They wrote it with just not being a one-note kind of guilt-ridden guy, but he's got this dark past, which was interesting to see them take with the main character. And the fact that it comes up and how it plays into the fact of this demon's trying to convince Richie that he's a killer, or at least he's got the killer instinct within him. And so, yeah, really is an individual who has a lot of weight on his shoulders, and I think Chris Riley pulls that off. I liked Cassidy as well, played by Katie Whalen. She plays Richie's wife, and the way they wrote these were great because as things escalate, we don't get the normal like Cassidy, she's gonna leave Richie because she just can't take this anymore or whatnot, right? She stays by his side, even though there may be tension at times between them because Richie is just not listening to her. But I liked how they kept this couple together and kept that connection versus the stereotypical severing it. Now, Father Stan, we doesn't get a lot of screen time, but when he's there, he makes the most of it. Is very effective as he played by Jan Birch, and Jan really gives this character this dark, evil side to him. And when he shows up, I loved how he played it just like you wanted him to. And then Mother Stan is played by Lauren Landon. Had to be a challenging role for her, playing this woman who has suffered a lot in her life, and she is held to a hospital bed and really puts in a sympathetic performance. You feel for her. Harley Whalen showing up in front of Zabula, who is helping Miss Vesna, who's played by Aphrodite Nikolovsky. And I loved these two pairing. They're quite enjoyable, little campy maybe in some of the medium stuff, especially as we get more and more heavy into the demonic stuff. But Aphrodite and Harley really play off each other as well, and I love this relationship between them. And Calhoun Coyne playing the evil demon that eventually shows up. Great performance, creepy, very scary. Loved the makeup effects as well. The only thing that really had a bit of trouble with this film was that it does seem to go a bit long. I feel like it could have been edited in the middle a little bit and trimmed up. It went just, I didn't mind it all, but we got the ideas and such, but it just seemed to go a bit long and not pick up a lot of times. Though they do have some wonderful creepy moments in there, I think they could have just put those creepy moments a little bit closer together. And then there's the ending. The ending feels a bit rushed, and I'm kind of putting together how it ended. I get what they were going for with it, but the ending just I had to watch it a couple of times to try to think exactly how things were playing out. So, other than that, I think The Devil's Left Hand is an interesting take on the demonic possession, seance type horror film. So, if you like your indie cinema, like the work of Harley Wallen, I think you will enjoy this one as well. So, thank you very much for watching. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, and all that here. We're trying to get to 2,500 subscribers or more by the end of the year. We can only do that with your help. So, thank you so much. And until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.